You're going to think I am completely crazy, but I'm about to give you something that will permanently change your life for the better. My name is Patrick, and I'm here to reveal secret obsession phrases that spark up a crazy cocktail of obsessive and addictive emotions of love within any man. The moment these secret phrases leave your mouth and reach a man's ears, the chemical process will get triggered inside him that'll make him wish, want, and need you so intensely that he won't be able to make himself interested in anyone else but you. In fact, here's what I want you to do. Listen to what I have to say till the very end. Then, pick any man of your choice, absolutely anyone, even the man who currently hates you or rejected you in the past. Casually whisper my awfully simple obsession phrases into his ear and watch how his eyes intensify with desire. See his face brighten with love and notice his entire body buzz with the purest form of attraction for you and only you. It doesn't matter if you have been single all this time, because these secret phrases will turn you into a mental obsession for every man, and guys will line up just to ask you out. You can even use these secret phrases on your cold and unemotional husband or boyfriend, and watch as he instinctively feels such unconditional love for you that he could kiss you 1,000 times and still not be satisfied. You can even use it on your uninterested ex and psychologically condition him to grow so emotionally attached to you that he would do whatever it takes to get back with you. Heck, you can even use this on that commitment-phobic player and make him go so blind with love that he'll eagerly wish to walk you down the aisle and make you his forever. Okay, I know this sounds ridiculous and unbelievable, but don't you dare doubt this for even a single second, because honestly, I went absolutely insane the first time a woman used these obsession phrases on me. Here's the story, and it starts with an embarrassing confession. I've been a player for most of my adult life. I won't go into all the graphic and shocking details, but dating and seducing women wasn't just a hobby for me. It was a passion. I knew it was an evil addiction, but nothing pleased me more than having a new scorching hot woman in my arms every day. Or every night, shall I say. I had such a huge and enormous buffet of women to choose from that I had pledged to stay single for life and never thought any woman was worthy enough to make me settle down or commit. But that all changed when I had the most alarming and amusing conversation of my life. I'll never forget that cold evening. My friend hosted a small party to celebrate his job promotion and invited a bunch of his close friends. I got there early and shamelessly started flirting with random women when suddenly I felt like I was being watched. I turned around and saw this woman at the far corner of the room, staring at me with such penetrating intensity that it made me a little uncomfortable. I thought about approaching her, but quickly changed my mind because she didn't have that curvy figure, graceful long legs, or a tempting face that I always looked for. I mentally rejected her and removed her from my list of possibilities for that evening. But just as I started to walk away, I heard a mysterious voice. "Hi, I'm Kelsey." I turned around, and this woman was standing right next to me as she continued to stare at me with her chocolate brown eyes. "Oh, hi, I'm Patrick," I said, with slight reluctance. But then, with a welcoming smile, she whispered something so magical into my ear that I couldn't help but be taken on a journey with her. The more she talked, the more intrigued I felt. Minutes turned into hours, and I couldn't take my eyes away from her, not even for a minute. I spent the rest of the night wrapped up in her words, and although she appeared almost ordinary at first, now I started liking everything about her. I loved the way she smiled. I loved seeing the sparkle in her eyes, and hearing her talk was like hearing a sweet song I could listen to forever and ever. Then, as the night came to an end, I reluctantly wished her goodbye and creepily hugged her so tight that she almost lost her balance for a minute. I should actually censor this, but I felt goosebumps explode all over me when I felt the soft touch of her body against mine. Over the next few days, I couldn't eat, sleep, or even breathe properly as images of her kept flickering through my mind. She'd stolen my heart in just one conversation. I would go by and meet her every chance I got, and each time it was harder to leave her and come home. Spending time with her turned into the most important priority of my life, and when I wasn't with her, I thought about her. When she didn't call, I felt sad. And all I really wanted was to see her innocent face, feel her soft hands, and drown in her sweet words all day, every day. It was almost like every other woman had become invisible to me, and all I could think about was Kelsey. Heck, I started feeling bored, dry, and a little turned off by women I used to go goo goo gaga over in the past. In fact, the very idea of other women felt wrong now. And that's when it hit me like a lightning bolt as I realized, oh my God, I was in love. In fact, it was such an intense feeling that I wanted to be her everything, her friend, her caretaker, her lover, and more importantly, her man for life. But this is where things took a strange turn. One evening, I was at her place and we were watching a movie together. As the movie progressed, she cuddled up next to me and rested her head on my shoulder. Just having her by my side in that moment felt so warm, so wonderful, and so right that I just couldn't hold it inside me anymore. In a crazy rush of emotions, I said, "I've been wanting to say this to you, but never found the perfect moment. You mean everything to me, and I love you more than words could ever say." I saw her expression change from happy to sad, and tears started to roll down her pale, heart-shaped face. "What's wrong?" I asked. "I need to tell you something, but you're going to hate me for it," she said in a choked voice. "Go on," I said nervously. "Well, Patrick, I haven't been completely honest with you. I coach a small group of women where I teach them secret tricks to make men fall in love, and I do it using something called obsession phrases. Over the past few weeks, I've been using these same obsession phrases on you." Then she turned her face away from me, and she choked up further. Her confession didn't agitate me at all. Rather, it doubled my sense of respect and admiration for her. I gently held her hand and asked her to look at me as I said, "Kelsey, knowing this only makes me feel even more attracted to you, because honestly, this is exactly what men need from a woman, but practically never get. I love whatever you did because the delicious feeling you gave me is something I want to experience forever and ever." But now, I was curious and wanted to know how she learned all this. Kelsey told me that a few years ago, she worked as an assistant for multiple hypnosis coaches and couldn't believe her eyes when she saw one of the coaches use a simple phrase and turn a severely depressed person who was in the most extreme type of pain into this enthusiastic person who was feeling so much joy that he couldn't stop smiling. These experts called it emotion trigger phrases. Shocked and baffled by what she saw, she literally nagged her coaches to explain the psychology behind these phrases. They told her that these phrases were carefully researched and developed by many years of studies and worked so well because they sink deep into the emotion-producing part of the human brain and spark up any emotion you want a person to feel. Emotions like euphoria, joy, pleasure, optimism, and even love, attraction, and desire. Feeling obsessed and excited by this new discovery, she did something evil. Kelsey was out at a party with a close friend of hers who was very gorgeous, tall, and distinguished-looking blonde. In fact, Kelsey felt like an ugly duckling next to her. They were grabbing drinks when a very handsome man approached her friend and asked for her phone number. Seeing this and feeling a bit jealous, Kelsey casually blurted out a mysterious phrase she'd recently learned. The moment her words reached this man, he shifted his attention to Kelsey, literally begged her to share her phone number, and later that night texted her and said, "You're the most tempting woman I've ever come across. I'd love to know you more." She was shocked out of excitement and couldn't believe what she had done. Kelsey was so blown away by this that she did even more research and discovered that certain phrases create a feeling of euphoria in the human brain exactly like a drug. Once a man is in this euphoric state, his brain releases something called the pleasure and bonding chemical throughout his body, which makes him feel attached, addicted, and completely in love with any woman who uses these phrases on him. At this stage, Kelsey was almost dying from eagerness and was so hungry to know every phrase out there that she spent 3 full years learning, researching, and collecting every little detail. Finally, after all that hard work, she compiled a complete guidebook of phrases and started calling it Obsession Phrases because of how rapidly it made any man feel obsessed with love. Within no time, Kelsey turned into a source of extreme envy and jealousy for her friends because they couldn't understand why every man was being exceptionally attracted and loving towards her all of a sudden. Men chased her like a hungry cat chases a mouse, and that's when it got crazy because everyone wanted to know her secret. The word got out and all her friends, friends of friends, and even random women started calling her, texting her, emailing her, and even showing up at her doorstep at crazy hours with their relationship problems, begging her to share her big secret. Feeling pressured by all this sudden attention, Kelsey shared some of her obsession phrases with a few women. She had a 47-year-old friend who was a mother of 3 kids. This friend felt so unattractive and ugly that no man wanted to date her, and she was depressed out of her mind because of this. Kelsey gave her something called the razzle-dazzle phrase, and her friend was completely baffled and shocked because for the first time in her life, a man told her that she was amazingly sexy and smart, and he felt that she was his ultimate soulmate. Kelsey shared something called the attraction spinner phrase with another friend whose boyfriend was on the brink of dumping her, but the moment she said this phrase, this same man snuggled next to her on the sofa, held her innocently in his arms, and whispered, "I'm so lucky to have you in my life. You're the best thing to have ever happened to me. I really love you a lot, and I never want to let you go." She shared something called love cocktail phrase with another friend who desperately wanted her ex back. The moment this friend used it, her ex, who was afraid and hesitant to answer her calls, suddenly asked her out to dinner and wanted to give their relationship another chance. And then there was the most interesting case ever. She had a friend whose boyfriend of 6 years surprised her by saying, "I don't think I'll ever marry you. You better start seeing other people." Kelsey gave her the monogamy awakener phrase, and suddenly, her boyfriend told her that he wishes to wake up to her beautiful face every day and can't wait to get married to her. At this point, Kelsey had helped more than 200 women and had a huge list of women waiting for one-on-one coaching. But instead of being happy, she felt sad, miserable, and a little depressed. You see, she was so busy that she couldn't help every woman who came to her, even though she desperately wanted to, and this made her sad. But as I heard this, a weird idea popped up in my head. I told Kelsey, "Why don't you document these phrases and turn it into an online course? That way you'll be able to help a lot more women, and this will also free up a lot more of your time." At first, she agreed to do it, but then we had a nasty argument over this. I'll tell you that story in a minute. But before that, since you're here, you have a rare opportunity to get access to the Complete Obsession Phrases online course. Honestly, there has never been a course laid out like this before, because it doesn't matter if you are 20, 40, or even 80 years old. It doesn't matter if you're tall, short, fat, skinny. It doesn't matter if you're married, single, or going through one of those up and down relationships, because these phrases work for everyone and for all dating or relationship situations. And it's so weirdly easy that you don't even have to do any work on your part. In fact, the only work you have to do is say these almost magical phrases to a man, either face-to-face, over the phone, or via text, and then sit back and watch his mouth water and his heart melt with the purest form of love for you and only you. Here's just a small taste of what you're about to discover. Do you know about the everlasting attraction phrase? This throws a man's emotions on overdrive, and he'll enthusiastically tell you how you're his sweetheart, soulmate, and his ultimate dream come true. He will feel such unconditional and never-ending love for you that he will crave to be with you, around you, beside you, and close to you all the time. Discover the whiz-bang phrase, which makes him see you as the most important person in his life and inspires him to treat you like this prized possession that he is really lucky to have. He won't be able to keep you out of his mind, not even for a minute. You'll be the first thing he thinks of in the morning and the last thing at night. Are you stuck with a commitment-phobic man who won't marry you but also won't let you go? Use my monogamy awakener phrase on him and watch how he convinces himself that you're the only woman he'd ever want to be with. He will wish to wake up every day to your beautiful face and will look forward to the day he finally gets to walk down the aisle with you and say, "I do." Learn the subconscious bonding phrase and make him feel, believe, and be absolutely convinced that you are his ultimate soulmate. His love for you will grow stronger and stronger as hours and days go by, and he will care for you so deeply that when you're sad, he'll cheer you up. When you're worried, he'll be there to comfort you. And when you feel empty, he'll tell you that you make his life complete. Do you feel offended and outraged when that one special man doesn't see you as anything more than a fling? Try my attraction spinner phrase on him and watch how his mind opens up to the idea of love for you. Within a few hours of using this, he will start to miss you without reason, will feel you in his heartbeat, and will long to be near you, hold your hand, and tell you how special you are to him. Do you know what a man really wants in a woman? Use the emotional transparency phrase today and make any man feel you're the only woman who actually gets what he needs. He'll crave to cuddle up next to you and share his most intimate feelings, his most secret thoughts, and will speak his heart out like he's never done before. Do you feel irked and annoyed when a man doesn't call back after a date when he said he would? I'll show you how to turn yourself into a mental addiction for him by using the razzle-dazzle phrase. This will make every nerve in his body stir and tingle with so much attraction that he'll blow up your phone just to hear the sound of your voice, and will keep telling you that being around you gives him the best feeling in the world. Are you scared that he might leave you for someone else? I'll show you something called the permanent obsession phrase, which will make him feel like his life is interwoven with yours and makes him completely blind to every other woman but you. He'll tell you that every moment he spends with you is like being in heaven. No other woman can ever match that, and he can't imagine a day without having you by his side. Do you know about the monstrous intrigue phrase? Use this on a man who is playing hot and cold, and watch as he suddenly tells you how you are the only woman who brings a smile to his face and sparkle to his eyes. He'll instinctively want to hold you, feel your sweet touch, hear your perfect voice, and you'll see an intense hunger in his eyes as he tells you, "You're mine, and I'm yours. I love you more than life itself." I'll also show you the mutual pleasure phrase, which makes a man feel that making you happy and taking care of you is his topmost priority. He'll treasure every moment you share with him, will bring you flowers every single day, and will fill up your phone with cute little messages just to let you know how important you are to him and how he can't imagine a life without you. I'll also show you how to become an object of his deepest fantasies by using the secret fantasy phrase. And watch how thinking about you turns him on in ways which can't be described by words. He'll wish to get lost in your eyes, feel your sweet touch, kiss your sweet lips, and will tell you that your voice is like a sweet song he can listen to forever. Do you know a man's most secret and important desire that he craves in a woman? Just knowing this one thing alone will make him wish to have you literally glued to him, and will make him scream at the top of his lungs that he feels like the luckiest man alive to have someone like you by his side. And not just this, I'll show you the love cocktail phrase that will make your ex not just want, but need you back immediately. He will begin to miss the memories he once shared with you. His stomach will churn with guilt for ever letting you go, and his mind will force him to do whatever it takes to get back with you. I'll also reveal how to make a guy do almost anything by using something called the obey me phrase. Your every wish will turn into his command, and he'll naturally desire to please you so much that it'll seem unreal for a moment. In fact, he won't feel complete until he does everything to keep you happy, fulfill your needs, and ensure that a smile never leaves your face. There's simply too much for me to cover here. I could go on for another 3 hours, and that still won't be enough to cover every amazing thing you're going to learn in this course. So now, I must ask you, are you ready? Are you ready to use these phrases and see that one special man tell you that if he was to live his life all over again, you'd be the only woman he'll ever want to love? Would you like to see him go so blind with love that even if a super hot woman walks by, he won't even bother to give a second look because his eyes only long to see you? Is that something you'd like to have? Since you're still here, I know the answer is definitely yes. You don't know this yet, but Kelsey charges $300 per hour with a minimum of 4 sessions to teach her obsession phrases to women, and even at that price, it's a steal, and she has a massive list of women waiting to get in. Keeping this in mind, she thought it would be fair to charge at least $300 for her online course, but that's what sparked up an argument between us. You see, I wanted her to make it as affordable as humanly possible, but our hands were tied and her reasons were completely fair as well. She already had plenty of women paying her $300 per hour, and it would massively piss them off if they came to know that her material was being offered for a lower price online. But I am a very stubborn man and pressed her to make this course as affordable as humanly possible, because no one deserves this information more than amazing, hard-working women like you. So, much against her will, I convinced her to do something really, really outrageous, but with a small condition. The condition is that she is only going to do this for a very short amount of time, and for the first few women only. So here's what it's all about. Kelsey and I have decided that you aren't going to pay $300 for this program. You aren't even going to pay $200. In fact, as crazy as this sounds, you can have the complete Obsession Phrases course right now for only $97. But wait, if you promise to act right now, which means by the end of this very video, I'll knock off another 50%, and you can have the whole course for a one-time only payment of just $47. Yes, that's correct. You get it all for a one-time payment of only $47. You save $253 from the original $300 price tag, and that's a colossal 85% discount. But wait, there's more. I want to make it even easier by taking all the risk away from you. In fact, I don't want you to even risk a single penny. Here's how it works. Download the Obsession Phrases program right now and glance through some of the easy, fun, and extremely powerful phrases. Feel and experience changes take place right before your eyes as you notice that just by saying simple little phrases, every man feels charmed, amused, and neck-deep in attraction for you within minutes. If over the next 60 days you don't notice that almost every man treats you like a precious treasure he absolutely loves, adores, and cherishes, or you don't like the program for any reason, although I know that is never going to happen, I want you to send me an email and I'll happily and graciously offer you a full, no questions asked refund, and I'll still thank you for at least giving it a try. So you must be wondering, how can Kelsey afford to be so generous? Well, technically, Kelsey could go broke making an offer like this, but she isn't really concerned about putting her finances on the line. You see, she knows, understands, and has experienced the power of these phrases. She has seen it work time after time for every woman she shared it with and is absolutely convinced that you'll be blown away by what you'll discover. But if you're still not fully convinced, then let me sweeten the deal even more by giving you 3 super bonuses once you invest in the Obsession Phrases program right now. First, you'll get the True Love Report, which is worth $37 in value. Here you will learn how to make any man feel obsessively and spontaneously love-struck by you by triggering the impulsive part of his mind. Within the first few days of applying this, a man would tell you that there is something about you that makes him feel at ease, and he's a lot happier since the day he met you. He'll even tell you that the sweetest of his memories come when he thinks about you, and no other joy in the world is more important than having you by his side. Next, you'll get the Man Dictionary, worth $37 in value once again. Here you'll learn how to keep any man stay in that never-ending love loop. Make him see you as his ultimate girlfriend, even if he's not ready for a relationship yet, and you'll learn a weird way to chase him, which makes him want, need, and crave you more. The secrets I've revealed in this report are definitely very strange and odd, but work so well that it's almost hard to believe. And finally, you'll get the Mind Reader Report, worth $37 as well. Have you ever wondered what's going on in his mind? My Mind Reader process will give you an unfair power to read any man's mind, even when he doesn't utter a single word. And you'll also learn an advanced twist using this same method that indirectly makes a man spill out every little thing he's been keeping from you, including all the lies, secrets, and other toxic details. Don't use this on him unless you are capable of handling extreme truth. Good enough? Okay, so now it's time to do some basic calculations. You're getting the main Obsession Phrases program worth $300, plus the True Love Report, Man Dictionary, and the Mind Reader Report worth $37 each, which comes to a combined total of $111 for 3 bonus reports. If you add up the main program and the bonuses, you're getting almost $411 worth of products for a one-time only investment of $47. That is a massive 90% discount, and you're saving a colossal $364. But honestly, I am literally letting you take advantage of Kelsey right now. But it's all worth it, as long as it benefits you and she earns a friend for life. I know this all sounds really exciting, but you know how they say all good things in life eventually come to an end? This offer is coming to an end soon too, because Kelsey has decided to limit the access to this program to the first few women only. Heck, even as I was recording this, she was freaking out over her clients finding out about this outrageous offer. Therefore, she doesn't think it would be fair of her to keep it online for too long. We're basically working on a first-come, first-served basis, and the slots are going to be limited. Since you're still watching this video, it means your slot is still open, and this is your chance to access the program. However, if you need to think it over and are planning to come back later, then we'll probably offer your slot to someone else, and you might not be able to get access to this program at all. It's possible that we might shut down access to this course soon, maybe even today. We just can't promise anything. There are a large number of women currently watching this video, and if you don't act by the end of this video, then we'll be forced to offer your slot to someone else, and you will miss out on your one and only chance. So here's what you need to do now. Simply click the Add to Cart button below, and we'll guide you through the whole checkout process. We accept credit card, debit card, or PayPal, and the whole process is extremely simple and completely safe because our payment processor ClickBank uses a secure server which keeps your information completely confidential and secure. In fact, it's far more secure than using your credit card at a shopping mall or gas station. Once you enter your payment details, you will be instantly taken to a download page where you will be given immediate access to the complete Obsession Phrases program along with the bonuses. Good enough? All right, now we're at a stage where you need to make a choice, and you only have two choices. The first choice, leave this page, completely forget everything you heard or saw, assume I never told you about Obsession Phrases, and let the next person take your available slot. By doing this, you've consciously chosen the really challenging, painful, and difficult path because you will probably continue to struggle around men for the rest of your life and might never get the love you've always desired. Sounds awful, right? Well, it doesn't have to be, because you could make the completely painless, smart, and the most correct choice, which is the second choice, by clicking the Add to Cart button below and enrolling in the Obsession Phrases program right now. Once you do that, you can finally sit back, relax, and enjoy as any man you use these phrases on melts like butter with attraction for you. And you understand that you have full 60 days to test drive this program. Therefore, you're at absolutely zero risk. The whole course is extremely fun and ridiculously easy. I'm really not kidding. Even if you don't go through the whole course and only casually scan it once, your life will be changed forever. And honestly, if you're thinking about coming back to this offer some other time, then you'll be kicking yourself with regret for many years to come, because you might not be able to get it at all. In fact, here are 3 huge reasons why you absolutely must act right now. Reason number 1, you don't have to shell out $300 per hour like other women have to, and you're actually getting everything for $47, which is a little fraction of the price everyone else had to pay, and on top of that, you're getting 3 super bonuses worth $111 just for acting right now. Reason 2, you basically aren't losing anything because Kelsey is putting her financial security on the line for you. She's accepting all the risk on your behalf and letting you test drive the system for full 60 days. If you think about it, you basically have no downside with this offer, but the upsides are colossal. Oh wait, the only downside is that you might be accused of being too good around men. Reason number 3, the biggest reason why I think you just can't afford to delay this even one more second is because Kelsey fears that women in her group are going to find out about this crazy offer, and she doesn't want them feeling pissed off because they had to pay $300 an hour for something you only have to pay $47. She will have to close this offer sooner than later. Once again, since you're still viewing this, it means that your unique slot is still active. And if you leave this page right now, it will probably be given to the next person, and you might not be able to get access to this program at all. And honestly, this is no time to go at it alone. Stop trying to figure out men and how we operate on your own. In fact, don't you think you're wasting your time by using the old hit and trial route around men? Let me ask you something. Have you ever witnessed a man being overly generous and loving towards a woman who technically didn't deserve it? Have you ever seen a man treat one woman like an absolute jerk, while he acts so stupidly nice around another woman that it makes him look super silly? And finally, have you ever seen a woman who has absolutely no issue getting a man to commit, while other women find themselves stuck with a commitment-phobic man who won't commit and also won't let them go? Do you know the difference? The difference is the choice of words. It's not what you look like that matters. Rather, it's what you say which makes the big difference. I don't think it's smart or wise to waste several years of your life in hopes of winning the love of that one special man when you don't even know exactly what you must say to win his heart. Listen, the work has been done for you. The only work you have to do is to follow the Add to Cart button below and enroll in this program right now. I know I've said a lot, but let me just say one final thing. In whatever little time we've had together, I've shown you 3 very important things. The first thing, I've shown you that by using simple phrases, you can easily make any man see you as the most important, charming, and insanely attractive woman he has ever come across, even if he doesn't like you currently. The second thing, I've also shown you that these phrases are called obsession phrases, and you can get access to them literally 5 minutes from now by clicking the Add to Cart button below. And finally, the third thing, you also understand and agree that these phrases don't really need you to do any hard work. In fact, the only work you have to do is say these magical phrases to a man either face-to-face or via text, and then sit back and watch how he suddenly feels attracted, addicted, and obsessed with love for you. So now, since you agree with all these points, Don't you think it's a good idea to at least try out this program? I mean, what do you have to lose anyway? With the risk-free guarantee, you get 60 full days to test drive this program. Therefore, you have absolutely nothing to lose. Look, I really wish I could make this decision for you, but I can't. Honestly, I could talk your ear off about how mind-bogglingly effective these phrases are, but the only way you'd ever know it is when you actually see them for yourself. Therefore, follow the Add to Cart button below, and I'll see you inside.